be the reason that you lose. Don't let pride be the reason that you lose. What's up, y'all? Good morning. This is the Plain Black Rapper Podcast. Nice Sunday morning. Really appreciate y'all joining me for the Plain Black Rapper Podcast. I'm your host, Nytelife. Today, I'm just going to get right into the topics, seriously and ironically. The topic is called Unserious. What does unserious mean? It's kind of like going into the new year, new me bullshit, you know, where you dieting, exercising for 2 weeks, and then you back on the same, you know, carousel that you was before. Unseriousness is a disease. It is the fine line between being a hobbyist and something of novelty and being a professional that is getting professional results. That's what unseriousness, the balance of unseriousness is. It's like starting a business and then spending the money that you get from it on other things that you deem more important instead of reinvesting it back in the business. Guilty. Absolutely guilty. Man, the kids need something. The house needs something. Oh, I got to pay this bill. Oh, I got to pay that bill. Oh, that money's there. I'll just put it back. Never put it back. You cannot grow your product or grow your business doing that. There has to be a separation of church and state, so to speak. And you have to be able to put your money into your business and reinvest in your business in order to be able to see it grow. You have to have the capital for that. And anything that you get that comes in results of you doing a process for somebody or you doing a project for somebody and you being rewarded by being paid for that, that needs to go back into your business to make it better. But if you're an unserious person, you just kind of just take that and think, oh, I'm going to keep getting business. And, you know, it doesn't work that way. Being unserious is starting things and not finishing them. How long have you been writing that book? Or been meaning to take those cooking classes or go back to school and further your education? Maybe take a shot to move up in the company. How long? Things that I'm guilty of as far as being unserious about is exercise. I have started so many gym memberships and canceled them. I have started running. I have went and did the home workout during COVID. I did everything. But I allow myself to be like, I'll work out tomorrow. I don't feel like it today. There's no drive. I'm unserious about it. I'm like the heaviest I've ever been right now because of unseriousness. Finally went and got another gym membership and got to get back to work and try to grind it out and and be where I need to be in regard to that. Pardon me. And I'm definitely guilty of the whole starting things and not finishing them. I do that a lot. We can't allow ourselves to be in these unserious pockets. The thing that make you unserious is you just not being accountable. You lacking putting in the time. You put in the time when you feel like you should put in the time, but you put in the time and then you expect all of these great results because you see all your peers growing and being great and doing great things. And then you're like, we started at the same time. Why aren't we there? Or maybe you started with somebody in the company. Y'all started at the same time and they're leveling up and you're not. We started at the same time. Why are we not there? Because of level of seriousness. They went to try to get the extra education and get the extra training and go to the seminars and do all the extra shit that they need to do in order to be successful. And you just kind of just sitting there and has accepted what it is going on around you. When you have something that you believe in and you don't sell out to lock it down to make it official, whether that be your IP protection, your business account, consistent investment of time and money, being an ambassador for your business 24/7, then you're not serious about it. I mean, I rhyme, right? I used to be afraid to tell people I rhyme in certain circles because I thought they would look at me crazy. Or tell people that you was podcasting, or tell people about other things you're doing. If you're not able and comfortable to be able to tell people about in all walks of life and all spaces about what the things that you're passionate about and what you do, you're not serious. That's part of unseriousness. If you're not willing to, champion what you do to everyone at any time, if you're not losing sleep to get better or to push it forward, you're unserious. Greatness is on your terms. You choose the effort, love, drive, passion, obsession, and investment that you will get rewarded with in the end. You choose that. Nobody else can choose it around you. Is it great to have accountability partners? Absolutely. I would love to have somebody with their foot in my ass at times that I need it. I think I've said it before here. When I took martial arts, the thing that made me great at martial arts is the fact of my instructors pushing me to be better, pushing me to be great, kicking me in my ass, making me do better, and then penalizing and punishing me when I didn't put forth the effort. You need that. And you need to penalize and punish yourself when you don't put forth the effort either. You got to have drive. You got to have organization. You got to have your priorities in order. That procrastination has to be in the backseat, and you can't lack dedication. We talked about it here. It's finding the times when you can be successful outside of your normal business hours, or not business hours per se, hours of operation. And hours of operation is work, is family, it's all the other stuff that's outside of what you got to do in order to be for your business. My hours of operation, 6 a.m., 9 p.m. Before 6 a.m., my house is everybody sleep. That's downtime. It's downtime for them, but that's perfect time for me to be able to operate and do things I need to do. If I need to exercise, I can exercise. If I need to work on this podcast, I can work on this podcast. If I need to do any kind of editing, I need to do any mixing, I need to do any mastering. Those are the times that I target to be able to do those things. Past 9 p.m., the house is settled down. Everybody's pretty much on their way to bed or whatever. Then I can get 9 to midnight, a little pocket to be able to work on those things. It's okay if you're focusing your efforts in those times. You don't have to be 24/7 just driven in what it is you're doing. You can pick those times and work those times. You just work really, really hard and grind in those times, and you can support your efforts. But it's just having the dedication to be able to do that and to not go, well, Instagram, DVR, let me catch up on the DVR. I need to watch this. Oh, I need to listen to that. No. Those are the times where that's your bread and butter time to be able to make your money then. Because that's the time you're focused on getting whatever it is better that you need to get better. Building in and ingraining your study time in order for you to get better. Building in and ingraining your time to be able to make the connections that you need to make, to reach out in the network, to maybe look at YouTube tutorials to get better at certain shit that you may not be good at. Me, I'm accountable for myself. This podcast runs because of me. Nobody else runs it. I got to do all my editing. I got to do all the posting it to the socials. I got to do all the clips that you see that's on IG and that's on TikTok. I got to do all of the audio, upload the audio, do all of that. I don't have anybody behind the scenes working on me with this podcast. Sometimes that shit shows. Sometimes things happen. Things happened this morning. What you probably don't know is that 30 minutes ago, I just recorded this whole podcast. Didn't realize that my audio was not selected. Wasted an entire 30 minutes. But it wasn't a waste. What it did was it was like, okay, that's my problem. then I can checklist myself to know that I've checked these boxes before I even record now. So that's part of my checklist now. Speaking of that, in order to be able to make myself accountable, I thought of things to do. And some of the things that I do at work is I have a bad day list. And what that bad day list entails is, I have OneNote and I can make notes. I'm at a tab that has bad day. And the reason why I made it bad day is because whatever goes wrong in the course of my day and whatever mistake that I made in the course of my day, I put it in there. And I put it in there as a point of reference. I put in there what the problem was, what I did wrong, and how the problem got solved. So that way, that's a Rolodex for me to go back in and check what it is that if I have this problem come up again, oh, I remember that. Let me go check my tab. Charting those times when you are making mistakes instead of just making the mistake and tipping your cap and moving on. If you're not getting anything out of your mistakes, you're unserious. You didn't take that to heart that was a mistake that you made. And you're not even categorizing it to the point where you can use it as data to be able to help you. That's things that you can, these are experiences that help you grow. Every error, every mistake, everything that you do that's wrong, you can use that as an opportunity to build a foundation to move forward and also be able to teach others. Now, if one of my peers come up and they do that, or I see one of my peers going down a road that I was already going down, I can hit them and be like, "Hey, I see what you're trying to do. I see where you're going, but man, last time I tried to do that, this is what happened to me. So you might not want to do that." Or if they come at you and be like, "Hey, this happened. Oh, you know what? I think that happened to me. Let me look it up. What I did to fix it." Give them the problem. Give them the tools to be able to fix it. Then you're helping somebody besides yourself, and you're helping yourself at the same time. You're doing that. But it's just a matter of you being able to be willing to do that. And it takes a certain amount of being humble in those situations, in those moments where you err, to document those things, to notice you do it, because it hurts because you see it and you be like, "Man, how did I do that?" I spend so much time beating myself up going, "Well, damn, how did I even do that? Why did I do that? What was I doing?" Instead of going, "Okay, well, you know what? It happened. Let me log it. And so it doesn't happen again." And the first thing I do is I just go talk to somebody about it when I make the mistake. I don't just swallow the mistake and just sit on it. I go talk to somebody about it. Somebody that's probably, maybe they've been through it. And maybe this helps them. When you have something that you believe in and you don't sell out to lock it down to be official, then you create problems for yourself. Greatness is on your terms, right? The drive, being unorganized, lack of focus, lack of priorities, procrastination, lack of dedication. The person that allows you to be unserious is you. It may be people around you that allow you to be unserious because they're unserious, but most of all is you. You can't hide from the mirror. We have this thing where we go, "Nah, I'll do it tomorrow." Or I know this is messed up, but hey, nobody saw it. If you aren't being accountable for yourself, then you aren't being serious about yourself. It's good to have people to be able to nudge you and be like, "Hey, you're either not doing enough," or, "Hey, you're doing too much," or, "Why did you do it this way?" But ultimately, it is up to you to be able to have those questions and those answers, because you are the one that's doing what is being done right now. It's on you. Any situation that you put on yourself is a moment and you weren't serious about it. That's on you. That ain't on nobody else. If you have people in your company or by your side that have limited participation, no input, no need to assist in day-to-day operations, not willing to take on projects or further situations, and most of all, don't hold you accountable, they are unserious. Keep them folks away from you. Keep the unserious away from you. And it's even worse when you have situations where you may be even called out for being unserious. I had a difficult conversation with my brother. To have him say, "Do you love this?" was really, really hard. We're doing processes, we're doing things, we're trying to make things better. But I feel that I am doing all the processes and doing all the things to make it better, and you're not helping as much as you should. Do you even love this to the point where you want it to succeed? I think that's a fair question. And part of the reason why I get into that is because of the things that I do on my own for myself. Because I'm the one that's accountable for me. I'm the one that's accountable for my podcast. I'm accountable for my music. I'm accountable for anything it is that I do. I'm accountable for the job and the work that I do for my clients with mixing and mastering. I'm responsible for those things. The buck stops with me. And I take on all of those things. I don't have anybody to turn to be able to do those things better or to get those things done. It's just me. So I completely understood where it was coming from when he said that. But I probably would have understood it more had it been I had people that were in my corner that was working to do those things and then they weren't doing them. So I would have understood that. So sometimes you get faced with your unseriousness. Why are you even becoming unserious? Just laziness, just procrastination, just I'll do it tomorrow. I'm grown. I'll do it when I want to do it. Whatever. Lack of investment. But if you're going to be in a mode of unseriousness, then don't cry about the results that other people are getting when they're successful. Stop crying. You can't have entitlement in these situations because you didn't bust your ass and get it. You got to go get it. Nobody's going to get that to you. Every goal you set, every mode of consistency, any regular investment of time and money, troubleshooting on things to make them better, love, and just selling out. Do you feel physically and mentally tired after you're done doing the things that you need to do? If you don't feel that way when you're done, then you're not serious about what you're doing. This means nothing. It doesn't mean a lot. You might as well put together model cars or go fly kites or go bike riding or do whatever it is that hobbyists do and go do hobbyist shit because you obviously in these situations aren't serious about what you're doing. You're not serious. You're not. It's on you. It's hard to understand when you're an unserious person. I've been an unserious person and I do unserious things, to be honest. And it's just a matter of me being able to hold myself accountable for that. But at the same time, if you keep yourself around unserious people and people that don't put in the time and effort and want to see things from beginning to end better, and you don't have that energy around you to be able to push forward, then you're going to be unserious. You having to drive through unseriousness and you have to push through unseriousness. When you get to when you get to where you need to go and you get to the mountaintop or get to one of the peaks in the valleys or wherever it is that you're trying to get to, it feels so much better and it's so much sweeter when you get there because you know the work that you had to do to get there. You may not have slept a couple. You may not have slept a couple days. You may not have been able to go here or spend money on here or go out and kick it or do all of this other shit. You may not have been able to do that. But when you achieve what you achieve, that's where the riches come from. And don't sleep on like goal setting when it comes to that stuff, man. You have to be accountable for your goal setting too. Just because you put it on a board don't make it real. It's there. But if you're not referencing that and you're not looking at those goals every day and you're not trying to push towards those goals every day, you're unserious. Did you check off anything on your list? If you didn't do that, you're unserious. You should be checking things off. You should be marking things off. There should be there should be a 20, 30, whatever it is, days, 15, 30, whatever it is that you do for categorization of days and goals. You need to have something that's going to be out there long periods of time. It's a far away goal and some shit you need to accomplish this week. And it may be some things you need to accomplish today. Get those things checked off. Because ultimately, it's on you. It's not going to be on anybody else. And we do too much crime when it comes to that. But we be responsible for our own situations. We do this to ourselves. You've been in a situation where you're doing something, you're operating, and you know, I can tell you about experience. We were starting Tent City, and we were in the process. We were the only ones that were out here. We was doing shows, and we kind of looked at the Wu-Tang model as being our model for how we were going to roll. We was going to create a shield. We was going to run behind that shield, and we was all going to put our t-shirts on, and we was all going to rep the shield and do all of this stuff. So you did that, and you go in these outfits and you go in these shows or whatever, and you look like something. People was like, what is that? Some people think it's corny. Oh, well, y'all got on the same shirts or whatever. Y'all got on the same shoes. It was like, some people was like, damn, that's kind of dope that they together like that. So because of the simple fact that we made that into something, we was able to sell merch. We was able to do things. People was looking for us. Like, we created a movement, right? And we made it about the movement and not necessarily the artist. We made it about the shield and not the artist, right? So when we did that, I think we were serious to a point, but we allowed somebody to be able to come in and snag our IP. And it was a dude that was actually the one that was running the shows. I looked up, similar logo, similar get up, how we was doing business, same exact way. Because I wasn't serious about protecting what I needed to protect. Had I protected that, then we could have went down the legal way. It could have stopped him. We didn't protect it. You can be serious about how you want to project yourselves and what you want to go out here and do and all the fun shit. But when it comes to those nooks and crannies of business and taking care of stuff and protecting IP and doing good business and having your things together and financially being solvent for you to be able to fund what it is you're doing, you can't be unserious in certain modes. You have to be serious about everything. Be serious about everything. Don't leave any stone unturned when it comes to your shit. If it's yours, you have to not only protect it, you got to do the work to sustain it. You got to do the work to get people involved to get things done. You have to position yourself. That all takes time. That all takes energy. And that all takes an amount of seriousness that you have to have in order to be successful. Because if you don't have the seriousness to be successful, you're going to have holes in all of your operations, and something is going to fall through eventually. You're going to get hurt. when you're not serious. If you go out here and you practice half-ass and you get into the game and you got to go full speed, you're going to get yourself hurt. You can't be unserious. You got to put in the time, the effort, the passion. You got to respect yourself enough to respect what it is that you're doing and present yourself in a manner that is going to be of a professional nature at all times. Be serious. Don't just be serious on your time and when you feel like it. Be serious. I don't know if y'all just heard serious. Serious crazy. But be serious in those moments. It's up to you. No one's going to do it for you. And it'd be a hard truth to learn that, man. Because you have to be accountable for yourself. You have to look in the mirror and be like, man, that's me. I've operated and been a part of Unserious outfits. Word to Bomani Jones. I think he coined the phrase unserious outfit. I've been a part of Unserious outfits. I've been a person that has been unserious. I've been a person that has treated my things that I was so-called passionate about as unserious because I didn't put the time in. Even with that being said, you have to understand some things about what happens and the belief and me having to be able to push through more because of the simple fact that, like I said, I do all of this. Doing these is almost a 4-hour process in the course of a day because this has to be recorded, this has to be uploaded, this has to be rendered, this has to be edited, this has to be rendered again, this has to be put in the clips so where you see all the fancy IG shit that's up for you to be for me to be able to promote this podcast. I have to put the audio stuff up on the podcast, put it up on YouTube, then promote after all of that. It takes a lot of effort. But I'm not doing myself any good if I'm putting forth all of this effort to not be serious enough about it to make it what it should be. That's up to me. Whatever it is that you're doing for yourself, it's up to you. How serious are you? Can you look yourself in the eye and say, I did as much as I possibly could to get to where I need to go? You need a moment of seriousness. Don't do it. Work when you don't feel like it. Character is doing what you do the same way when other people aren't looking. Are you serious about this? Do you love it? As my brother told me, do you love it? Watershed moment. You better start understanding. You better start believing. Because if you don't, you're a hobbyist cosplaying as a serious person. All right, y'all. I really appreciate y'all joining me today. Just a couple of things to be able to check off on the checklist. Support in any way that you can. $, Nytelife 3200, just like the little trigger that's down at the bottom there. You can send me something through Cash App, whether that be 1, 3, 5, 10, 20. You want to send 1,000,000, go ahead. Cool. I'll take it. Because this doesn't run on, hearts, sunshine, and puppies. We have to be able to fund this the way we need to fund it. So another way you can do that, if you want to be able to get something on the back end, boom, right there is the link to the merch. You can get one of these Plain Black Rapper podcast shirts at our merch station. So go there, click it. I'll put it in. It's in my link tree with any of these posts that I have. You can go there, pick up a shirt, pick up a sticker, pick up something to be able to support it. If you love the podcast the way you say you love it, then support it and show your love. Show your love that way. Walk around town and rock these with pride. People be like, what the hell is that? Oh, that's some black dude that be doing podcasts. I know him and he rap. But I really appreciate any support that I'm getting. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you follow on Apple Podcasts. You follow on Spotify. Download, please. But most importantly, I run off comments. I need to know what's going on. I need to know if the audio is not good, if the visuals are not good, if I'm talking about the same shit over and over again, you're getting tired of me talking about these same topics. Whatever it is that is great. If it's great, tell me it's great. If it sucks, tell me it sucks. I'll take all things in stride because I want to be able to make this. I want to be able to make this as best as possible. And I want to be able to make this a valued experience for people that are actually listening and watching, because you're taking your time to be able to share with me and listen to me talk to you for like 30 minutes. So I need the assistance with that as well. But all good things must come to an end. So hopefully this was a good thing for y'all. Difficult roads often lead to most beautiful destinations. Shoot your shot. Go for the win. You might make it. Peace.